cryptocurrency news, and today I think that it was a great opportunity for us to be discussing now a lot of the more intricacies of what's going on with the altcoins. I mean, obviously, the altcoins have been getting a lot of attention lately because of the state of the affairs of the market, and I think that I mean, this would be a good time to just basically make a video where we talk about like the top cryptos, the altcoins. We haven't made a video like this in a while, and yeah. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. I mean, we're going to be brushing over a couple of things, regarding around the news, that's in this space. But I mean, how's everybody doing? Of course, in the live chat, and yeah. So I mean, one of the cryptos that I think we should start off by talking about is, of course, Cardano. I think that Cardano is definitely worthy of making it on this list. And I'm excited to see how Cardano is going to be shaping up now in the better half of 2019. I mean, Cardano's had a lot of interesting developments, that are pretty much Cardano could speak for itself. And Justin Sun has done a great job, with the whole, talking about the stake and all these different conversations that are problems that plague various other altcoins that Cardano doesn't really revolve into. But I think definitely Cardano is a great crypto to put at the top of the list. As far as altcoins go, I mean, it's one of my favorite cryptocurrencies at the current time. Now, especially at 3 cents. I mean, obviously, every crypto is dramatically undervalued at this time. I mean, it's kind of amazing how cheap some of these, how many of the, you could really fill up your bags with some amazing technologies, if you make the right decisions. So I think, this would be a good time to, just give you guys a heads up, as far as the cryptos that I'm paying attention to. Apollo cryptocurrency. I'm definitely going to include Apollo on the list. This is probably one of those cryptos under a penny as well. I mean, you could pretty much get 1 million Apollo, for next to nothing. I mean, which is pretty exciting. Me personally, I already have 1 million Apollo plus. I mean, I've been just dramatically expanding my portfolio in multiple different directions. In particular, the sort of gains that we were seeing Apollo demonstrating earlier in the space, certainly something that needs to be paid attention to. I mean, and of course, I mean, I would include Tron on this list, but I'm actually going to, Tron technical analysis. I mean, the fact of the matter is, Tron's been running into some issues lately with the whole BitTorrent, BTT, and all these things getting off to a start. So, I mean, instead of including Tron on the list, because, I mean, personally, Tron's on my list, but I'm not going to include it on the list for this video, just simply because of the different issues that happened with BTT. Tron is just looking kind of sketchy at the moment. So I would basically put this out there that people should wait and see what's going to happen in the future with Tron, before making some sort of dramatic decisions. But all that being said, I mean, Litecoin, definitely an interesting crypto. I mean, one of my favorite. I mean, I've been holding Litecoin for years now, and it was definitely an interesting crypto to be paid attention to, and especially when the cryptos were reaching their all-time highs. Litecoin has had an amazing history, but of course, the number 2 spot is actually going to go to Stellar, and I'm going to give the number 2 spot to both Stellar and XRP. I'd say both Stellar and XRP have earned the position, to be paid attention to, especially as we move forward. So yeah, I mean, Tron. I mean, we do have the first airdrop. I mean, I'm not a Tron hater. I know I've been criticized for giving Tron for defending Tron, and I'll continue to defend Tron because I'm willing to laugh all the way to the bank when it comes to Tron. And I think if you're gonna be in this space, you got to be willing to have measure that risk reward benefit sort of thing. And especially now, I mean, with the different it's a pretty controversial time in cryptocurrency. It seems like the space, people are ready to eat each other. It seems like people are biting each other's heads off now. But hey, I mean, isn't that's pretty much what we signed up for? So yeah, the number 2 position definitely goes to XRP and Stellar. For top 5 altcoins that I'm paying attention to in February. Very excited to see what XRP is going to be doing. Now they've recently been able to overcome Ethereum yet again. I mean, it's a pretty dramatic state of affairs, seeing how the two have been competing. See, this person in the comments says that Tron sucks. I mean, hey, I don't blame you for having issues with Tron. Certainly, I mean, the BTT controversy, I mean, it's something that I'm not going to ignore. I mean, obviously, there were a lot of people who've had a lot of complaints about Tron, and I mean, definitely, you might want to steer clear of it, but personally, I'm still filling my bags with Tron. I mean, while all this stuff is going down in the background, I believe in Justin Sun. I mean, I think that the team definitely has a lot to bring to the table still, especially, with all these different developments. But hey, I mean, that's just my personal opinion. But of course, keeping Tron off the list just because I want to see how these different things shape up, in regards to like what I said. But crypto processor CoinGate adds XRP as payment option. I mean, XRP is always doing something. I mean, it's not called the establishment cryptocurrency for no good reason. I mean, there's a lot of things that are brewing in the background with XRP. Yeah, Apollo, we've already mentioned that. That's definitely on the list as well. Apollo's I mean, we've seen people been able to really take advantage of the price momentum that has happened with Apollo recently, and it's definitely a crypto that's on my radar. When we see Apollo finally coming into its own, have really flexing its muscles and showing what a true privacy technology can do, I think that it's something to be said. This person says Hollow. Well, I'm definitely a fan of Hollow. It's one of those cryptos that I've been holding on to since the beginning. And Hollow is certainly a crypto that I'm paying attention to. But then again, I mean, this list is just specifically for February. Obviously, I'm going to give the next spot on the list to Digibyte. Yes, Digibyte is one of the most interesting cryptos, I would say, when we're talking about speed, when we're talking about all these different variables as far as how Digibyte's been managing to position themselves thus far. I mean, it's definitely an interesting crypto that I'm paying attention to. Digibyte, one of those cryptos that has the capacity to really live up to the name of the game when it comes to cryptocurrency. Digibyte, a project without risk, data-driven investor medium. So, I mean, when we want to talk about security, I mean, the future of the world, people don't actually realize how much of the world is going to be contingent upon the passwords. When we want to talk about security of passwords and all these different things, I mean, all right, so Neo is an interesting crypto. I mean, I think the smart economy is definitely something that shouldn't be ignored. I'm definitely excited to see, and Neo is of course very undervalued currently. I mean, at $7, I believe the all-time highs for Neo was in the hundred, well beyond $100, back in its heyday. And I mean, certainly, I mean, the likelihood of Neo retracing its steps, coming back to those all-time highs is fairly likely. But of course, I mean, on this list, we're going to be talking about Electroneum. I'm including Electroneum on the list. I guess you could consider this in the number 4 position. I mean, Electroneum, when you want, I mean, and it's under a penny too, which is pretty incredible when you consider what this crypto can do, and what it can bring to the table as far as bringing the world together in terms of leveraging what mobile mining can actually do. And I think that Electroneum definitely has its heart in the right place to that extent. XRP number 1, soon, hate it or love it. I agree. I mean, you can't ignore XRP. No matter what your personal preferences are, Electroneum, and XRP are certainly 2 cryptos that I'm paying attention to. But so we got Digibyte. We've talked about XRP, XLM. Those are 2 cryptos, mobile miner for iOS and Android. Yeah, especially with what we've been seeing as far as the mobile space. All these different cell phone these new cell phones have been coming out with the capacity to store cryptocurrency on them. Is an interesting indication of what the plans are for the future of mobile, and certainly cryptocurrency has its place in that regard. And lastly, I mean, I want to include I'm trying to talk about like the really cheap altcoins here, because I'm not, I mean, obviously I could fill this list with more mainstream cryptos, but I want to include a privacy coin. Of course, Monero is the privacy coin as of right now, and then of course Dash is also got some merit when it comes to privacy. But I'm going to give for February, of course, giving the place of this number 5 position to Verge. I think that Verge is definitely an interesting crypto to pay attention to in this current paradigm. And of course, the when it comes, I mean, of course, Apollo too. I mean, you don't want to disregard Apollo when it comes to privacy, and all these different things are concerned. A lot of these different privacy cryptos aren't really privacy cryptos. I mean, if we're going to be totally transparent here, that's about that. But Binance Coin, yeah, I mean, the exchange cryptos are not to be ignored. Binance Coin definitely. I mean, I think that in February, I'm not going to include it on the list for February, just because I think that right now we're in sort of a bear market, and especially what with the recent controversy of what we saw happen with Tron, and the BitTorrent, the airdrop, and how Binance essentially has its hands filled. It's sort of looking dirty, in that sense, but. I mean, this is an interesting article right here by Mashable. He had sole access to 190 million worth of customers' crypto, then he died. This is pretty tragic story right here. A laptop computer from which Gary carried out company's business in crypto, and I do not know the password recovery. I mean, for the past week, we have worked extensively to address our liquidity issues, which include attempting to locate and secure our very significant cryptocurrency reserves held in cold wallets, and that are required to satisfy customer cryptocurrency balances on deposit, as well as sourcing a financial So, I mean, never a dull day in the cryptocurrency space. Fidelity announces institutional crypto platform is in final testing. definitely have to pay attention to this article as well. I think it's another sign that mass adoption could be right around the corner. There is a Reddit thread saying that there is a momentum of the cold wallet addresses. I've seen that Reddit thread actually. I mean, it is interesting to. I mean, good on you for pointing that out. But Fidelity has published an update announcing that it is highly anticipated cryptocurrency exchange and custody platform Fidelity Digital Asset Service (FDAS) as entered its final testing phase. The financial services provider also stated that it is exclusively serving a select set of eligible clients. So Fidelity, definitely a big name, and it's interesting to see crypto on their radar, especially in this current time with what we've been seeing, with the whole, cryptocurrency in Q1 2019. A lot of people have made the argument that Q1 of the current state of crypto could be setting the standard for what we can expect to see all throughout 2019. But I think that we could be nearing the middle/end of the bear market. Now, of course, the bear market is probably one of the largest that we've ever seen in cryptocurrency history. So, I mean, that being said, it could easily continue. But what exchange can you buy Apollo on? That's a good question, because a lot of the exchanges that have Apollo are crappy exchanges. So you're gonna really want to find an exchange that's you're gonna want to read the reviews on the exchange that you choose, because I've heard of a lot of people who run into that issue with the exchange where they get locked out, or you have to send them your ID. You have to take a picture of yourself holding your passport or something like that, which I never do. I'm not going to give these exchanges that much information on me, especially when they're just going to sell my data. It's just sketchy. So definitely walk. You have to you're on thin ice with a lot of these different exchanges, and you don't want to get wrapped up in something sketchy. If you bought XRP when it was a penny, you would have something too late now. That's what that individual says. So, we want to talk about the cryptos. I mean, so I guess the bonus crypto that I'm going to be including on this list, I mean, I know Doge is sort of a meme crypto, but I hold some Doge, and I'm excited. I think Doge actually could have some momentum. I mean, you can make money off of any cryptocurrency, so I mean, Doge is definitely an interesting crypto. It's not by any means a top crypto that's going to make it onto this list, but it's definitely a crypto that I mean, you could make money off of any crypto. That's all I'm going to say about that. What do you think about trading pairs BTC/gold? I think cryptocurrency will one day eclipse gold. I mean, I might be in the I might be one of the few who still has that much faith in crypto, but I'm still holding strong to that. I use CoinSpot, as I'm in Australia. It's simple, but fees are a bit high. Yeah, I know I'm familiar with the fees on CoinSpot as well. So, yeah, VeChain, I mean, really cheap right now, really undervalued. I mean, everything on here is really undervalued as it currently stands. I mean, the question is, are they going to continue to be undervalued, or are we going to, see crypto falling off the face of the world for a little while? I mean, you could still count on me. I mean, I'm still going to be here making videos about cryptocurrency as long as there's still cryptos to be making videos about. And hell, I mean, people might, be leaving the space, but selling at a loss and all these things. But a lot of these coins will not be here in 5 years. Yeah, I agree. A lot of the altcoins are going to get completely smited off the face of the earth. And 5 years is an eternity in the world of cryptocurrency. You really can't, you can't say for sure which cryptos are actually going to survive, in particular with the current market. But then, of course, we've got the old standbys, Ethereum, Bitcoin, probably the more stable, for lack of a better term. A recession, not anytime soon, but it's certainly coming. I mean, it's not going to come. I don't think this year you have anything to worry about, but after 2020, I guess we'll just have to see what happens, politically, and then what with different affairs, certain conversation, I guess. But can blockchain transform the music industry? Probably, but I think blockchain could pretty much transform every industry. It's important that we assess the way blockchain technology promises to transform the many industries that exist within our society. It's clear how blockchain can transform finance. Just check out Bitcoin. And it's also been made clear over the past year how much of an impact the blockchain could have on logistics and even renewable energy. However, have we truly measured up the implications? Blah, blah, blah. According to Forbes 2017, the music industry has worth $15.7 billion due to inflation and enhanced technology. I think that the music industry could benefit. I mean, they do have problems with people, accessing music without paying for it. I think blockchain could probably easily solve that issue. ADA has a future, maybe not at the top spot, but still, yeah, I agree. I mean, we started off this video by talking about Cardano. I don't know if you were here, but yeah, ADA is definitely a crypto that's worth mentioning. I think what drove the market in 2017 was BitConnect. BitConnect's not to be ignored. I mean, and of course, there were so many things happening that drove down the market in 2017. I think the crypto space needed this period of time to basically reassess itself. I mean, we saw a lot of those really crappy ICOs. And bad actors getting smited off the map, which was pretty good. DGB, yeah, we have Digibytes on the list as well. Now, one of those interesting cryptos that's certainly not to be ignored in the current, dynamic. ADA is interesting just because it's one of those cryptos that's trying to do everything. I mean, when you look at what the evolution of cryptocurrency, I mean, we had Bitcoin and then Ethereum with its smart contracts, and I think now people are really starting to pay attention to crypto from more of a data analytical perspective, and I think that's one of the reasons that we could see Cardano. I'll be making a video on Cardano in the future where we extensively talk about it a little bit more, but I'm excited to see what's in the future, for Charles Hoskinson and all these different things. But all that being said, if you guys are interested, make sure that you connect with us on Twitter. It's at CryptoTuber, and standard disclaimer: this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. Obviously, this video it's not financial advice or anything like that. This is just my opinion of the top 5 altcoins I could see for February of 2019. I mean, EOS is definitely interesting. I mean, I'd include it on this list, but I mean, right now I'm more having a wait and see approach to EOS. I want to see how the rest of the market fares up before I commit. Proof of location, yeah, that's a big one as well. ELA, English Language Arts. Elastos, yeah, this is an interesting crypto as well. I've been sort of sleeping on it for the better half of the past few weeks, though I haven't really been researching it as much as I probably should have. Don't get nervous. Apollo. Yep. Now, if you had $1,000, which coin would you invest in? Well, if I had $1,000, probably just go buy some beer. No, I'm just kidding. If I had $1,000, I mean, I'd probably put a lot of it into right now. I'd probably buy $250 worth of Ethereum. I'd probably buy $250 worth of Litecoin, $250 worth of Cardano, and then I would take the other $250 and I would spread it across all the altcoins, maybe $50 in XRP, probably put like $10 in Hollow, $50 in Apollo, $50 in Digibyte, and then probably a wild card after that, maybe Walton Chain or something. But I mean, yeah, I mean ADA. I mean, the only reason I wouldn't put it in ADA is just because I already have a lot of ADA. You know, ADA is like pretty much my day. The reason I don't have $1,000 to go and buy a bunch of cryptos is because my money's wrapped up in my previous investment. I'm just talking about if I had $1,000 to buy and then hold, those would be my picks. I'm really excited about Apollo. I mean, I'm one of the people who's been a believer in Apollo for a long time, and I was able to take profits during the recent bull rush that we were seeing on Apollo, which was pretty juicy. I believe Apollo was seeing something like 150% gains. I mean, as long as you know when to jump off and when to jump on, then I don't see why crypto can't be a viable way, to make money, day trading and all these different things. It gets a bad rap because a lot of people are stupid, and a lot of people don't know how. I mean, they get greedy, all these different things. But I mean, even though ETN releases an iOS app. But I mean, yeah, so it's one of those that's one of those things. I mean, I still have faith in the space. I mean, people who know how to trade are really going to always be able to get the betterment of the space. But that has been my mistake at taking profits. Yeah, I mean, you just have to know when to take profits and when you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. But yeah, with that, I mean, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Then I'm actually going to be signing off now, but hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.